Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here. I have another exciting video. We're going to be discussing a very interesting topic, which is all about the solar system farms and life evolution. And so this is kind of a follow-up based upon a previous video I did a while back about the intuitive secrets of our solar system. And when I got into that, I was shortly afterwards getting a download on a greater deal pertaining to the nature of solar systems themselves. And this is what we're going to be discussing today in this video, is that when we look at a solar system, here's the sun, here's its accommodating planets, and so forth. That when we look at the nature of a solar system, every single solar system within the universe, from what I've received from this intuitive download that I got shortly after making my first video, every solar system basically represents a farm or a garden in that way. I basically call it a farm, but if you're familiar with some of Dolores Cannon's work, she was also talking about the idea of keepers of the garden, or custodians of planets, custodians of star systems. Star systems in that sense are of a very, very different nature from what modern science gives the impressions with. First of all, to even have a solar system together in the way that it is all based upon the feats of cosmic engineering. We're not calling it geoengineering or anything of that nature, but we're basically looking at it as a type of cosmic engineering. That planets are basically grown in a certain way, and that they are taken from specific regions of the cosmos, and they are formulated to work together. It's kind of almost like a karmic family in that way. Just like how we incarnate, we choose our parents choose us in that way, and we come into the family unit and we learn from one another. We evolve from one another. We have to basically go through karma with one another. Well, the same thing goes with planets. Planets are basically, in the solar system format, a solar unit or a solar family unit. So this is why we have Mercury and Venus and Earth and Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, etc. Right? This is basically representing our solar family. So we're part of a unit. But again, it works like a farm. That every particular planet has its own nature of intelligent life, which I'll just refer to as IL. It has intelligent life throughout each planet. So each planet is going through its own experiences of how it works together in the stewardship of helping to grow and evolve life. This is where life evolution comes together. So whenever we see a solar system throughout the cosmos, right, we see planets here and a sun there, you're looking at a farm. You could also look at a garden. But every single one of these planets has their own caretaker, right? There is a creator for each planet. And that creator works together with stewards or custodians, right? So you basically have a planetary creator, the very essence that makes the planet what he or she is. In this case with Earth, that we refer to her as Mother Gaia, or to Terra, or as Sophia, for example. That really when we're looking at the logos of the planet in regards to everything that she wants to explore, everything that she wants to experience, everything pertaining to her own natural evolution, all life upon her surface follow that course. And that logos would be the essence of the planetary creator. And so the planetary creator has stewards. A lot of them are our cosmic family, our star family. And they are assigned to watch over the planet, to make sure that just everything stays in balance. They're not here to play favorites in regards to whatever happens relating to sentient civilization's growth, just to keep it in line, just to keep it in balance, just to keep it together in the format of life evolution, to which the logos of the planet herself has therefore decided to go through, right? So again, we look at the Earth, she has her own path. She has her own involution and evolutionary path. Here's involution, and here's evolution. So therefore, as we go through involution, she goes through her trying times. She goes through difficult times. She goes through the darkness, learning more about herself, and all life upon her corresponds to that involuted journey as well too. That's also the journey of the souls. Souls that come upon the planet and therefore going through their own respected involution and evolutionary processes to helping them go through these planets, going through this planet in particular, through Earth. But of course, we are travelers. We have gone through many different, I wouldn't say many, countless, infinite worlds, because we are infinite, right? But in this particular context, going through Earth and therefore going through our own involutionary and evolutionary cycles at the same time that the Earth is going through them as well. So she is learning, she's growing, she's evolving. But of course, she goes on a very different life path compared to humans, right? Humans are here to serve the Earth, and the Earth is here to serve a greater purpose relating to her own involution and evolution. She works together with the stars. She works together with the neighboring planets. She works together in her own growth as a planetary body. So therefore, everything throughout the surface of the planet, even in the subterranean of the planet, because there's life there as well, all life upon her surface, again, all of this is all part of that life growing, of that life maturing, right? We also have ancient civilizations in the subterraneans of the Earth, and they too are learning. Many of them are far, far older than us. But again, they're still coming upon the planet. They're still attempting to learn about God. They're still attempting to learn about their soul. They're still attempting to learn about their own challenges as well too. It's very, very different pertaining to what we're going through as human beings, because we're still learning to get into unity consciousness with each other as well too. The same thing goes with a lot of these elder races that are contained in the inner Earth, for example. So we all have our own involution and evolution qualities pertaining to the Earth, and that is all part of the life evolution when it comes to these solar system farms that we call solar systems. So again, it's all about putting together this phenomenal, precise and sophisticated solar system, right? And who knows how many solar systems there are. But being able to put something together like this that is cosmically engineered and being able to have the appropriate types of planets that make up this solar system so that we can all learn from one another. There are things that we can learn from the other planets that we really have not even got into yet. We have not even been able to get involved in any particular way with how we have family associations with our neighboring planets. Or we're having just even looking at our association with the sun, right? There's so much in regards just to our own solar system alone that we have still a great deal of time to learn. We still have to go through our own evolutionary process, and again, working with unity consciousness on a humane level, right? To move humanity into a higher unified consciousness. And once that happens, then we're starbound, right? But just going through our solar system alone and learning about everything that's contained within our star system could take hundreds or perhaps even thousands of years before we even go beyond the solar system. Now, some may say, oh, come on, Brad, shouldn't we be traveling the entire universe? And like, I mean, in time that is going to happen. But as soon as we become starbound and we become a galactic civilization, we have a lot of work to do just looking into our own star system. There's so many secrets here. Just through our solar system alone, with the civilizations that are here as well too on these planets that are observing, beyond the worlds as well. And there's so much. I mean, look how long it's taken us just to finally get to the point now where things are shaking up, where there is an opportunity for humanity to start working together, to start being with our soul tribes. And this is going to eventually evolve to where humanity is going to become a unified society. It is going to happen. It will take some more time, but it is going to take place. And so again, look at how long that took. And then we're going out into the solar system. And then we're going to meet Star Family. And we're going to meet these custodians that have put together this solar system farm, right? So this solar system farm is all about being able to keep balance with these, I would say, life forms pertaining to their own respective evolution, which means it's all about keeping a balance. A farm is basically growing all kinds of fruitful content in this way. We're having the growth of life. We're having the growth of mineral consciousness, nature consciousness, sentient consciousness. All of this is being prepared. It's being prepared for something bigger. And that's really what a solar system is all about. In different planets, they all have different themes of involution and evolution that they are working through. So we really can't even fathom what some of these other civilizations are going through, because many of these other civilizations on our neighboring planets are much older than humanity. They're like elder races, but they're still going through their challenges as well too. They're still going through their own growth and involution and evolution at the same time. So basically we have solar systems because that is helping to keep a type of quarantine in line. There's a balancing that's coming together. There's a natural order that comes together through all life that's contained on these planets. And again, the common life that is going to move beyond these planets are the sentient consciousness to which we represent, right? We may have animals coming with us in certain ways, but they have no desire to explore what is beyond the earth. They are meant to really be symbiotic together with the earth. But the sentient consciousness relating to human beings, yes, we have that natural curiosity. We have that natural expansion to move beyond a planetary sphere and start looking much more into cosmic life. But again, these solar systems are designed to basically balance everything, to balance these forms of life that are evolving, and basically looking to go into ripeness or a certain level of maturity. But that type of life stays as a planetary consciousness until that ripe maturity starts to unfold. As that ripe maturity starts to unfold, the populace will naturally discover how to leave their world, and they will develop much more harmonious technology, not ridiculous technology that's archaic and chaotic and polluting and harmful, not only to the planet, but even to the cosmos. The cosmos can also be polluted, right? The cosmos can also be damaged. And so again, that is also another thing that we will have to keep in mind in the times ahead when we become a spacefaring civilization, right? You cannot pollute the cosmos. Because again, if you basically try to weaponize space and you try to drop all these bombs in outer space, you risk ripping open and tearing dimensional holes. Not only is it going to seriously affect you, it's also going to affect other civilizations that exist in between those dimensions. You could risk killing off many different civilizations existing in different dimensions to where this tear of fabric between space-time and time-space can be severely damaging and cause catastrophic damage between ourselves and other civilizations that exist between dimensions. So there's a lot of quarantine taking place on a cosmic level as well too. Just like how we have polluted the Earth, we can pollute space as well too. We don't want to do that. That's archaic, right? And again, our elder ancestors wouldn't even really let us off the planet if that was still happening. Not only are you polluting Earth, you're going to start polluting space, and we don't want that either, right? So again, this is where a type of ripe maturity needs to take place before a sentient, advanced civilization can move off the planet and now start to form an equilibrium pertaining to life in the cosmos. And to really have that kind of maturity for humanity, is so very, very important, right? We have to know that we are one with each other. We have to know that not only with everybody, with every ethnicity, with every culture that we have here on the planet, everybody needs to be in harmony with everybody else. There can't be this racism. There can't be this prejudice. There can't be this inferiority and superiority complex. There can't be victim consciousness. There can't be warmongering consciousness. There can't be starvation or anything of that nature. All of that has to go, because that is not how we're going to function when we become a cosmic society, a cosmic civilization. But when that time comes, when we are actually able to move beyond the Earth and just being able to look at the farm, to look at the solar system and understand exactly what is happening here, that this is all about cosmic engineering to bring about the evolution of new life. Evolution of new life that can now come and join the greater society on a universal level. And when we get to that particular point where we now, maybe it takes hundreds of years, for example, and we expand beyond that, we may be introduced to the Oort cloud. Looking upon the Oort cloud and seeing hundreds or even thousands of Earth-like planets, where we see the civilizations there, and that will take such a long time. But this is where I feel that we'll be getting much more into the quantum age, and the idea of linear time will no longer be a faculty for us anymore. That's basically how a lot of the neighboring civilizations work. They don't work with linear time. When you become a cosmic civilization, you are working with higher dimensions. You are working with the non-linear of mind. So when we go into non-linearity, you'll be able to explore all these different facets of life with hardly any time going by whatsoever, right? You can find yourself one moment here looking at Mars, another moment here looking at Jupiter, another moment here looking at Venus, another moment looking at a planet in the Oort cloud, right? And all of these things are happening simultaneously, and they're basically similar to like pockets of time. They all work together within a non-linear framework so that no time is actually being wasted spending hundreds or even thousands of years looking at all these different planets. Everything is like a honeycomb. It's like the idea here, you can go to this planet and take a look at this civilization, then you're on this spaceship and you're talking to this civilization, and you're on this spaceship and you're doing this, and then you're on this planet and you're doing that. All of this is happening simultaneously. We can't really understand that right now because we're still so used to the linear framework that we're experiencing here on this planet. But even with what's happening on Earth, she too has non-linearity. She too has higher mind. She too has etheric nature, higher mental planes, etc. Right? Because she is a living being. And as a living being, you always have the frontier of multidimensionality available to you in all ways that are expressed through mind. And of course, we have the soul, the spirit, which goes beyond mind. But that is what I feel we will be doing when we become a cosmic civilization. Brad, when is that going to happen? Well, I don't think we're going to have to wait too much longer. I think as we start going into the next decade or two, we're going to see a lot more innovation being built for spacefaring travel, right? But that's going to be the beginning. That's kind of like Neanderthals inventing the wheel. And then it's going to start to transform. It's going to go beyond that kind of Neanderthal science. And it's going to go much more into an advanced quantum age, where again, humanity will start to develop themselves as a non-linear based civilization, where the quantum age will come in and everything will be simultaneously coexistent and simultaneously available, where you're looking at many different realities at the same time, and nothing connotates to a linear format, to a linear timeline. You now have a multitude of different timelines looking at things in a different way. Some time will pass, but nowhere to the extremes to what linearity itself would burden us with, to try and investigate everything within our star system, everything within the Oort cloud. For example, if we were to look at that linearly, you'd be looking at tens of thousands of years at least, right? We're not going to be doing that through a linear basis. When you become a cosmic society, you do not operate in linear format anymore. You operate non-linearly, right? That's the whole idea. When we are operating linearly, it's really just the dynamics of the local star system, right? And you're only able to understand so much. This is why scientists have never been able to really understand how the galaxy, how other galaxies, how the universe works, is because we're still looking at it with a linear framework. And it's like looking at the universe like this. Here's a two-dimensional square, and that's all we know. We're putting some of these stars, we have some of these galaxies here, etc., and that's how we think we're understanding the universe. But in this example, what about this? What about the cube? Okay, that cube represents the idea of an extra dimension, right? Or we can even look into extra dimensions and helping us to get much more of a greater understanding. And if I was to draw a hypercube here, right, getting us a better understanding about how dimensions themselves would operate. Not a very good hypercube, but it'll have to do. Right, so looking into different dimensions pertaining to our role, our association together with all life in the cosmos. And you have to look at it from a multi-dimensional perspective. You have to look at it really from the higher mind. This is even going beyond the idea of conventional science. Even conventional science will talk about different dimensions. They'll talk about fourth dimension and so forth. That's nothing. This is still just the bowels of the cosmos. We're talking about going all the way up, and that's moving into a greater heightening of mental capacity. That's moving into a greater evolution of ourselves. But going back into this context here about how we have solar system farms, Brad, why are these solar system farms put together? Because it is helping in the evolution of new life. It's helping with the idea of sentience, moving beyond their planetary sphere, basically in that sense having a harvest. We're basically looking at a solar system harvest. I don't know how long that will take, but it's basically in that sense that you're reaping the life from these planets so that they can join the greater community, so that they can be part of a universal family. And so that's, again, just like the farm is used to cultivate vegetables, cultivate fruit, and then at the harvest, we're able to reap the rewards to what the farm was able to produce. Well, the same thing goes with the solar system. The solar system at some particular point that goes into different arrays representing certain time deadlines and so forth will in that particular way reap a harvest to where there will be life that is able to come from these planets and now start to join in the greater community. With humanity as a whole, that will take time. But for each of us individually that are moving ourselves into higher mind, moving ourselves beyond mind, coming into beingness, realizing we are one with God, well, you're reaping yourself into the greatest experiences you could ever imagine, right? So that again is representing the harvest of a collective consciousness to therefore move beyond the earth and therefore firstly starting to discover a lot more with our star system and then being able to move beyond the solar system and realize how a lot of other advanced civilizations work, because a lot of these advanced civilizations don't exist in star systems, okay? Star systems are farms. That's like looking at the farmers, okay? What about the scientists? What about the surveyors? What about the engineers? What about all these different types of advanced beings that do not exist in star systems at all? The Oort cloud, for example, is not a star system. It just exists at the edge of our star system. But we again have hundreds, if not thousands, of Earth-like planets there that do not require a sun, but are basically in that sense thriving in that way, or at least not having the sun that we share, right? So there's a lot more advanced science pertaining to planets in the Oort cloud that again may not even have a sun, but they operate on a different dimensional light or different dimensional frequency, a different dimensional platform that's helping us to get much more of a perspective. Well, there's a lot more to the universe about how planets can function, about how they can be engineered in a different way, about how civilizations can exist beyond the idea of solar systems, but more so in the idea of clusters. That we could actually look into the idea of clusters of planets, right? Just along here. And it doesn't follow the format of a solar system. It's more so about the idea of it being a cluster. There can be even more advanced things that we couldn't even begin to fathom right now. So again, it's telling us that we're going to move much more into an advanced galactic society, universal society, that's going to show us much more wonders pertaining to the universe, about how planets function, about how galaxies function, about how the universe itself functions, about other dimensions, about civilizations, about interconnectedness to all life. It's wondrous. It's wonderful. So even I can't really give you guys a lot of answers. I'm just getting bits and pieces of these downloads as I can comprehend them as a human being. And giving you guys a lot more things just to really kind of whet your appetite pertaining to the imagination about where we are going as a cosmic society, because we are going to become one. There's no doubt about that. We are going to move into the quantum age, and through the quantum age, that is going to open the door tremendously towards humanity becoming a spacefaring cosmic society, where we're going to be operating on a whole different dimensional platform. Linearity is going to be going out the window, and we're going to start moving ourselves much more into quantum-based society, non-linear-based society. That's where we're going, right? How that's going to unfold, we just have to see. We have to let time itself be the messenger and showing us exactly how that is going to unfold. But again, it may have to do with a lot of the shifts that are happening here throughout our galaxy, where Earth may start to slowly and surely in time integrate itself into a higher dimension, which is what we're basically going through right now through the transiting gates of transformations, moving us into, again, higher dimensionality, to giving us a much greater and deeper perspective of the universe as we move up the ladder collectively. So this is what I want to share with you guys about solar system farms and life evolution. That again, the farms represent that beautiful oasis to helping evolve life, and that there are logos, logoi in that sense, that are contained within the heart of every planet that represent the essence of the planetary creator, which again harmonizes together and moves upwards further through a planetary creator to a galactic creator to a universal creator to the creator, right? And it continues to work up in that way, moving up that staircase in that form. But there's a lot to look into pertaining to this topic. Again, I just have bits and pieces right now, but that's really what solar systems represent. They are farms, they are gardens. We have keepers of the garden, we have custodians that are just working to make sure everything is kept in balance, so nothing is destroyed, so nothing pertaining to the life involution and evolution of sentient life upon these worlds are interfered with, because we've certainly had that interference in the past, and now cleanup is taking place. And now we're moving into a grandiose time. It is going to be taking place. Humanity is going to be becoming a cosmic civilization in the decades to come, and we have a lot to discover pertaining to how the star system works, to how the cosmos works altogether. It's going to be an exciting time to discover that, because you as a soul will always have the opportunity to explore these things beyond the idea of having to feel like you're confined within a collective space. You as a soul have the capability to explore this as well too. But we can only comprehend what we can comprehend through the idea of our experiences as human beings at this point. When we go further and further upwards, connecting with greater intelligence, that indeed will change as more of us do that. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. And again, if you have any questions about this video, you can go ahead and visit my website, newearthteachings.com. You can go to the contact page and contact me there. Or again, you can drop me an email, info@newearthteachings.org. Thank you very much for watching. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar. May it be well with you. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.